Why do people choose to live or retire in Siem, Cambodia? Well, I would say convenience, easy visas, and of course what we talked about before is the cost of living. Let me just show you an apartment I just had a quick look at on a estate agent or real estate agent in the city center for about $330. Have a look at this. Each room, I do believe, has air conditioning. There's a TV. I don't think there's one in the bedroom, but there's a TV. There's near enough a full fitted kitchen with a refrigerator, a gas stove, maybe a microwave there, I'm not too sure. And this is pretty close to the city center. Now, remember, this is an estate agent and they are going to charge 5% per month as their rental fee. You can get it cheaper if you search around and you can negotiate with the landlord, and I'm sure he'll be happy to do some kind of price. The deposit, 1 month, maybe 2 months. Your electricity is about 25 cents per kilowatt, which is about 1,000 real. Water varies from place to place, anywhere between $5 to $15, or sometimes even included in the price. You get free internet. It should be good enough to watch Netflix or Amazon. You get free cable TV in a lot of places, or if you want, it is actually possibly only $100, 70 to 100. I don't know. I don't have cable television here. I just use online, etc., etc. So that's all convenient and that's all taken care of. Basically, you can find a good apartment if you search for about 300 to 500, even cheaper. I know some people will say that, and everything's there. You don't have to buy anything, you just rent the whole thing. It's really different to some cases in Europe or the United States of America. There we go, convenience number one. Once you get the right visa, for example, a retirement visa, well, actually it's an extension, but it's a retirement visa, then you can actually set up your own bank account. I would highly recommend going to ABA. Now, all the staff in ABA, their English is at a pretty good level, so you're not going to have any problems, and everything you sign will be in English. It won't be in the local language. You can put in a deposit, let's say, of $500, and bam, you get a debit card. You can also have a credit card, international, that works all around the world. You would just need to have a long-term deposit. So that has to be, let's say I have a credit card and I have a value of $500 in it. I have a time deposit of $550 through ABA, which makes buying tickets, etc., online with a international credit card. They also have the electronic banking system. So around the city, basically, you do not need cash. But if you do, don't worry, there's plenty of ATMs. There we go. Convenience. They open from 9 o'clock in the morning to around about 5 o'clock at night. But you don't need to, because everything is on the electronic app and it's really easy to use. Money sending in, no problem. They will accept the payments, transfers from bank to bank. They will accept MoneyGram, and I think there's another one called Rio. But it's just convenient. Convenience number 3, traffic. There's only a tiny population who live here. Some people say about 1 million. I don't really know. So today is Thursday. I went to the supermarket. I live in the countryside, about, you could say, to the border of the city, 2 or 3 kilometers. The supermarket is maybe 8 to 10 kilometers away. Just the only thing was traffic lights. Okay, the driving is not the best in the world, but because there's not many people who live here and not many cars, and most people ride motorbikes, then it's just easy to get on your motorbike. Just drive slowly, wear a helmet, and be aware of people all around you, because the driving, well, is not the best in the world. But when I get to that supermarket, I go to one called Anchor Market. Yeah, that's the right one. I can get all my necessities there. I can get really good coffee, I can get cornflakes, I can get fresh milk. I have 2 cats, so we can buy the cat litter, the cat biscuits, and then I can buy all the meats, not all of them because we would go to the market there. I can buy even English frozen food, even from bakers like Greg's, from Iceland, from the Co-op, for example. If I want English gravy, hey, I can get Bisto. Convenience, and it's just so easy. You know it's there. And again, a lot of the cashiers there will speak basic English, but there is one supervisor there whose English is actually quite good. So you don't even need to get a translator to help you. Everything is there for you. Convenience. There isn't any so-called public transportation, but what you can get is something called a pass app, and it has a application for it, and I think you have to pay for it now. I'm not too sure with that. It's like the rickshaw version of Uber. You can book it, they will come, and at the end of the journey, usually you can just pay them cash, or you can just say ABA, and it can be an electronic payment directly to them. So if you're going out for the night, don't ride your motorbike because you may have a glass of wine or beer, and they will take you. And if you want to go back, there. And there are some unscrupulous ones who will try to charge you an arm and a leg. Hey, that happens everywhere. But you should know the price. If you don't know the price, you can ask a local. If you're in the tourist area, most people will try to speak a little bit of English, and they even may speak to the tuk-tuk driver and get you the right price that you feel comfortable with. Example, if you wanted a tuk-tuk from the airport, or from here, for example, to the airport, which is quite a distance away, the Chinese taxi mafia will charge you $35, but a tuk-tuk or a pass-app would charge you about $18 to $20, yeah, and payable through electronic payment systems, so you don't actually need the cash to do it. Convenience. Now, I know some people would say this is wrong, that motorbikes are dangerous. Motorbikes are not dangerous, it's the people who ride the motorbike. So, a helmet and drive slowly, and you'll get there. Don't be like one of the kamikaze kid pilots who are driving at 80 kilometers an hour, weaving through traffic, it's like a death wish upon them, the kamikaze drivers there. Just take your time and be patient. You will get there, and there's not much traffic. So there, you can get a car, but this is the downside of Cambodia, that the car, for example, the one I want is like 39,000 American dollars new, but in Thailand this is about 30 to 32,000. So there's a heavy tax duty on cars. The same with motorbikes. My one cost me 4,900 and something. And this motorbike, again, in Thailand would cost you something like 3,200, 3,000. So that's the tax system on it. But if you are going to buy a motorbike, you can get a new one from anywhere from 1,600 up to, let's say, 3,000. Your budget for a brand new bike could be about 2,000. I would highly recommend a Honda. There's loads of Honda showrooms here, and if the motorbike breaks down, if you don't look after it, then there's so many mechanics who will. Don't go with the electronic scooters, don't go with electric cars, etc. Because I think there's, so far, what we have seen is literally one charging station. Possibly more in the capital, Phnom Penh, but just go with the regular car here. Yep, that is expensive. The cars can be inconvenient, but the motorbike can be more convenient. Yep, if you drive slowly and drive safely, you'll be fine. Just take your time and don't drive like a kamikaze idiot pilot there. Then you're going to risk your life. Green means go and red means stop. For some people who ride motorbikes, green means go, orange means go even faster, and red go even faster still. It's a bit crazy with that, but the convenience of a motorbike and hardly any traffic gives you another convenience. Fantastic. I know there are many disadvantages, but if you weigh the costs, or if you weigh the pros and the cons, there are more pros than cons here. The cons would be rainy season, when it rains, it pours, and it rains a lot. It is humid. The electricity is expensive. But if you want to live comfortably, I know people will say, yeah, you can get it a lot cheaper. The comfortable zone is $2,000 per month, okay? That's your accommodation, your electricity, your food, your going out, your nightlife, your tuk-tuk, etc., etc. Like, you have your own internet, for example, they're high speed. You can easily do it for 2,000, and that's even for 2 people and even 2 pussycats as well. Can be done. If you have more money, then you can invest in a larger property, or you can rent, etc. That negative people would say is the healthcare. Now, what I am trying to do, I'm trying to work on going into like the 5-star hospital here and having a chat with some of the doctors just to see if I'm allowed to do it. And that's for kind of like serious stuff. If it's small things like you have a rash, yeah, or you have some illness, you can just go to the pharmacy, you can tell them, and they will give you the medicine that the doctor would give you. You can go to many clinics, and if you don't know which one, hey, join in an expat community on Facebook and you'll get lots of advice, or just go and speak to some locals who speak a little bit of English in a restaurant, and they are the best people because they may be able to help you there. Just communicating, even though English is not the first language, you would say in the areas that you would go to, you would possibly say, not all, but possibly would say that it could be broken English, but you could communicate. And of course, you can use Google Translate. You type in English, press the button, and then they can read it in Khmer and vice versa. So communication is not really a problem, but it is if you live here for a long time to actually make the effort to speak the language. This is why I live in Cambodia. It's just a convenience. It's just actually a really easy life. If you want to buy like a sofa here, I went to a sofa shop, how long? About 3 years old. And they would speak basic English. You can do a little deal, you can do a haggle by just saying, you know, I think this sofa was like $300, so I said, give it me for 200, and they would laugh, and I would end up about 270, for example, there. So I've saved myself $30. You may be very glad to know there is no McDonald's. I think in the country here, there is Burger King, there is KFC, there are 2 Starbucks. You can laugh at that if you want to, but there's so much food options here. And if you want the Japanese food, Chinese food, Mongolian food, Indian food, English food, lots of that, American food, French food, Italian, vegan, vegetarian, you name it, it's all here. And even fusion food you can find. So again, more conveniences for your entertainment. It's not always loud music. There's some really nice restaurants that are not going to cost you an arm and a leg, which you could possibly only dream about, you could say, or really difficult to find. Or if you do find it in New York City, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Here, it's going to be really reasonable. So I'm going to leave it there for today because I waffled on long enough. But this is the convenience of living in Siem in Cambodia, and it's just, for me, not for everyone, it's just a perfect retirement, and I'm just very happy to share this on my channel. And talking about sharing, please do share this video with people that you know on your social media. Do like it, do subscribe, and any comments that you want me to talk about a bit deeper, because not I'm an intelligent person, it's just that I've been here or been based here for 9 years now, and I am as happy as Larry. Bye. Cheerio.